Hello. Looks like it actually remembered my setup. I think. An update to OBS that actually did what I wanted it to. That's awesome. Who said no? Who said no in the polls? That's really rude. Extremely rude. While people are filing in here, I will let the people know that we are, well, I'm going to try to do 6 Game Boy Advances today. Hello. But we'll see how that works out. Yeah, because I just don't know. I don't know when my back is going to tell me stop doing this. It's not hurting right now, and it hasn't hurt for a while, but, you know, doing 6 of these could happen at any moment. What was I going to say? I was going to say something to start. Oh, the thumbnail shows a green, like a more green Game Boy Advance shell than this. This is more of a minty green, where I swapped it out for this because I don't have the color buttons that I would like for the one that's in the thumbnail. So I swapped that out. We'll go over all the colors that we're doing in a minute. But yeah, these 6 Game Boy Advances that I've got right here, I literally just got them delivered a couple hours ago. So they're not cleaned. I've tested them very quickly. We'll talk about that more later, but all of these should be good to go after a light cleaning and a power switch cleaning. So that is what we're doing today. We're gonna pretty much fully do 6 Game Boy Advance mods, start to finish, like anybody else would. I'm not starting with a pre-cleaned board or anything like that. So today is the day. If you want another in-depth tutorial live, today's the day. Where do you find Japanese version consoles like the Spice Orange GBA? Japan. The simplest way to answer that is in Japan. I've done videos on Sendico, Bai, and Zen Market. Those are all 3 places that will help you buy from local listings within Japan. It is not cheap, and it's even more not cheap now because of tariffs, unless you're not from, if you have a OUR in that color, so I'm assuming you're across the pond, and if that's the case, then you already had some import fees that didn't really change from Japan in the past year like we have. So yeah, Sendico's not a bad option. I think I like Sendico or Zen Market the most for that stuff. I have affiliate links. I don't know if it gets you anything, but it gets me something. Yeah. Sendico has expensive shipping though. Just depends. I mean, you're sending stuff from out of country. It's going to be expensive no matter what. And it just depends on how much or how big or whatever. Bai has expensive shipping. Unfair shipping. But what are the most amount of mods you can put in one GBA? I don't know. I wonder if you're reading my mind. Are you reading my notes, dude? Not doing that today, but maybe a plan for that in the future. Didn't really want to say that. Oh well. Okay, we got enough people in here to start tearing stuff down and doing more stuff. Let's look at the top-down camera. We've got 6 Game Boy Advances. I don't know why I stacked them up like this. We're going to be doing mint, a clear mint Game Boy with white buttons. We got an indigo just like these. These are all going to be the high-speed EOV5 kit. We're doing all black and all white as well. This even has a white lens for it, so gonna keep that off to the side so I don't lose it. We're gonna do an all red, unfortunately, just a black lens. And then this will eventually be a spice orange. So you can just buy from me and the shipping might be cheaper. I don't know. I don't know what my shipping is compared to Sendico. I also don't know where you live. But it won't be an original spice orange shell. So yeah, those are the colors that we are doing today. And I just thought of it when I said High-Speed Edo V5. Their website is down on AliExpress. Or not their website, their page on AliExpress is down. I mentioned this last stream. I'll quickly mention it again here. If you want High-Speed Edo stuff, go to highspeededostore.com. highspeededostore.com. I do not have affiliate links for any of that. I don't have links for any of it, so you're gonna have to parse through it on your own. It's not that complex of a website. There is a highspeededo.com. I don't know if that's an old site or if they're up to date with that as well. But highspeededostore.com is what I was told by the people at High-Speed Edo when they reached out to me via email, because they're like, hey, you've ordered from us a lot. You probably know that we're down. We want your money still. Go buy stuff from here in the meantime. Don't know if or when their AliExpress store is coming back. I would prefer that personally, because the affiliate program on AliExpress. Also, same thing with Cloud Game Store. If you watched my most recent video on this channel, I did a Cloud Game Store IPS screen that is half IPS, half like original display with the backlight off and reflectiveness. There's a new link in that description from another seller, but for some reason Cloud Game Store's listings are down on AliExpress. People are saying, I don't know if this is true, but people have said that it's because their things have the like Nintendo logos and stuff, and that's why they were taken down. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, it seems reasonable. Too many GBAs? Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna mod 6 of them today. I'm gonna at least try to. So, let's say hello to everybody, and then we'll get started. So if you want me to say hello to you, say something in chat right now. I will say your name out loud, and I'll say hello. And right before I do that, I will mention I'm going to be using this guy today, my automatic screwdriver. So if you think that sound is annoying, then you might want to mute the stream when I'm doing this, because I also probably won't talk or try to talk over it. But since we're doing 6 of them today, I'm going to be using this to save my wrists. Don't care about the audio, it's a stream. So, all right, we got, just gonna look at this screen. We got ZX010, Viper Color, my mom. Art Gingard? I totally butchered that one. Fox Van Goss, Josh, Death Bob, Citron, PBV, probably butchered that one too, and Ian Ruck. Hello. I believe I said everybody that's said something so far. If you want to correct me on your name, then just try and type it. Try and type the pronunciation in the chat. It's French, don't even try. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Okay. Also, hello to my father. All right, let's get started. Again, if you don't want to hear me doing all this, I would recommend you mute your mic until these shells are open. Also, hello, Chris, and Public Scrutiny. See, those are easy to say. Citron. Did I say that right? This one's also really close to the mic. I apologize. I'll just have it far away and I'll yell at you guys. You might think we're done, but we got Phillips heads to do. Also realizing that I never got out my soldering iron power cables. I'll bring it back for a second. Just for a second though, because we got a lot more Phillips heads to go through. Should go by quicker than the first round though. I thought of a couple things to say and I was like, oh, I'll wait till I'm done using this, and then I forgot. I guess I could literally just shake them out. I can try to shake them out. Ah, see. There are. At least one of them has some corrosion. So we will be doing 5 Game Boy Advances. Well, I guess we'll see how easy it is to clean off. Or at least attempt to fix. The headphone jack on that one. Unfortunate. That is the problem with just opening these up as we go. Okay, now I'm going to unscrew these Phillips heads to get the motherboards free. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Which one did you get? Public scrutiny. I really appreciate the comment. So basically, High Speedo has their own store or a site now instead of AliExpress. Yes, but I have a feeling that they will try to come back to AliExpress because I feel like that marketplace is just like too valuable to them. Because other than me and other YouTubers promoting them, they don't really have like a fan base or an online presence. So I feel like AliExpress is needed for them to make a good amount of money. Also, they reached out to me personally via email because of my order history. I think that's a sign of them saying, we need some more money, please. highspeedetostore.com. Back to screwing. Okay, we're done with that for a while. Gotta unclip these. Here's one. This is why I don't trim my fingernails until Monday after stream or Tuesday. Because having long fingernails like this comes in handy. Of course, right now I'm struggling with these 40-pin connectors. Jiminy Christmas. It's a lot easier when they're 32-pin and they have more space. Hello, Joshua. You can enjoy lunch with your wife. That's all right. You don't. You don't have to watch. It's all right. I appreciate it. Also, congratulations. Even though I'm pretty sure I already congratulated you. Joshua got married. I think that's the first time you've said wife to me instead of fiance. Me and Josh didn't get married. He married somebody else. Oh, okay. Hoping to see a new product. I think I told you. Maybe I didn't tell you about this. I don't know. Was having. Okay, now I see that. Man, I wish High Speed Edo would sell new PSP 2000 screens. I haven't seen anything about 2000. I've seen PSP 1000 IPS screens. I've seen PSP 3000 IPS screens that I just did a video on the second channel, Jake64. But I've never seen 2000 screens. Them story was watching one of these videos when my daughter rocked up, got quiet. She asked me if I could do one of these mods for her. 2 quick orders in a bit. And I got my baby into video games. Nice. Still waiting for the day that my sister allows me to make me a Game Boy for my niece. Niece says, but I know that Millie's too young. I don't know why I moved those over there. It does not matter. Actually, I do want these over here, though. out of the way. Okay. What do I do first? I think we should clean these guys. Where is the gross headphone jack? Here it is. Sneeze. Yeah. This is also what happens when you open up a bunch of gross, dusty Game Boys, because you sneeze because you have bad allergies like me. Okay, we are going to take this and just see if... Is it corrosion? It looks like corrosion. Looks like corrosion. Smells like corrosion. Probably corrosion. Alright. I do have some ready to go headphone jacks, so I think I will just try and replace it on stream here, but we will worry about that in a bit. Let's clean off some speakers real quick, and then the motherboards. I really need to refill this alcohol bottle. Also don't know why I didn't spray the board correctly. There we go. Does it taste like corrosion? I am just going to assume yes. But I also, I shouldn't taste it because I don't know what corrosion tastes like. So I can't verify that. It'd just be silly of me. Okay. Here's that one. Yeah, I'm gonna need to refill this bottle. Might need to bring out the fiberglass pin for this. Paper towel definitely helped, but I could get it better with fiberglass pin. Get the rest of it. I tested these all out pre-stream, and all of the sound worked on all of them. So I was kind of surprised that there was corrosion on the headphone jack. most effective way to clean a volume wheel that I found is to spray alcohol all around it and then just wiggle it back and forth a bunch. Get your toothbrush in there, and then you can use some canned air on it if you need to. And if that still doesn't fix your volume wheel issues, then you could just need to replace it. Can we get through these last 3 boards before needing to replace the alcohol? I hope so, because my plan was to refill it, and when I ultimately spill the alcohol all over the mat, I can use that to clean up all the dust that I have now put. Everywhere. Honestly, I don't even know if I said that sentence correctly. I paused for too long and kind of forgot what I said at the beginning of that sentence. I'm having a spacey day today. I also am thinking about like a million things, because if I'm being honest with you guys, there's more than one product I'm gearing up to launch soon. But the thing that I'm talking about in the poll is something that I'm going to launch this Friday, and then next Friday I will actually have 2 more products, at least 2 more products that I'm launching. So there will be a lot more things in new categories on retroremaster.com. So there is that. I use soft bristle brushes. I literally just buy the cheapest multi-pack you can find at the store. I think I bought this latest set from Dollar Tree, and I got 6 of them for $1. And that's like $1.25 now or whatever. I haven't been to Dollar Tree since then, actually. But I actually need to re-up on these. No. Oh well. So close. Yep, see? Nice big puddle of alcohol. What mods are going to be used today? Just the IPS V5 kit. I don't do lipo mods. Yeah, I don't do lipo mods. Power cleaner mods are silly. And what else is there? I don't always like to do LEDs because not everybody likes LEDs. I do it on occasion. Plus, it just ups my costs, ups the customer's costs. Yeah. I think amps are silly because you're just amplifying the sound that isn't the best already. Like, yes, the music sounds good. There's good sounds from Game Boy games, but you're not going to improve the sound quality. You're just going to amplify the current sound quality. So I don't do amps. I think they're a good idea if they are rebuilding the amp system from the ground up, like with Bucket Mouse's stuff. But yeah. Otherwise, the only other mods I really do are like replacement stuff, but I chose these specifically because they don't need anything replaced except for the headphone jack on one of them. And now the mat is cleaner. So I can feel a little bit better about putting my nice brand new shells on these. It looks like I've missed some chats here. Off-topic question, but have you ever had an issue with any of your iFixit bits getting discolored and corroded? No, actually. I've had a problem with losing them. Like, ironically, I lost the magnet one that helps you find screws and stuff, which really sucks. Other than that, I don't think I've actually lost any other bits. Yeah, I think that's the only one I lost, and that one hurts the most because I really wish I had that. I now use my LTT screwdriver as a magnet in Bitfinder because that has really strong magnets. So I guess it's not the end of the world. But no, I have not had any issues with that. I do have a pretty old kit though. It's from 2020. So maybe they've changed how they make it. I don't know. I've never had that problem though. Betting the new product is a shell? Maybe, maybe not. I can tell you it's not a shell that I made. And today we are not talking about a shell. But there may be a new shell in the future. Okay. Also, if you count a new shell as a mod, then yes, I will be doing that. Let's just bust this. Let's do the. Just kidding. Let's do the power switches first, because I don't want to do the I don't want to do anything to these if the power switches are corroded and falling apart. So we're gonna do that. I'm going to put the alcohol away so it's not next to the very hot soldering iron, and I'm going to take a drink because I'm starting to get thirsty. Of course you can ask a question. You may not get an answer to it. What IPS display could I get that would fit my original shell? One that says drop in. If you search Well, it depends on what model you're talking about. I believe all of them do have a drop-in. Yeah, so what Game Boy model are you looking for, Macaroni? There is a non-laminated version of the V5 for high-speed Edo. It does not require trimming. There are pretty much no trim mods, or like very minimal trim mods for all of them. GBA, okay, because like there's a DMG kit. I know you're talking about GBA, but there's a DMG kit that you can use to that has a solder or a speaker pre-soldered on, which is usually the only soldering you need to do for DMGs. But you'll have to like trim a few posts, and that's it. But anyways, there is a non-laminated version of the high-speed Edo V5 kit. If you search drop-in GBA, then you'll find it. Again, AliExpress listings for that are down right now, so go to highspeededostore.com, look for the drop-in in the GBA section. That will fit inside of your screen or inside of your GBA with no trimming, no cutting, no nothing. You can use your original shell, but you will have to solder if you want to do any of the controls, because I'm doing the same kit today, but this is a laminated version, which also doesn't require trimming if you get the pre-trimmed shells like I do. But the regular non-laminated version of this does not require trimming, and you can use your original shell. But you have to solder to left, right, and select if you want to be able to adjust things like the brightness and all of the menu stuff. But you can, there are these two touchpads that come on them pre-soldered, where you stick it to different parts of the shell. One adjusts the brightness and one adjusts the colors on the screen, the color palettes. So you don't have to solder, but you can't do anything with the menu with the touchpads. So you can only adjust the brightness and the color palette. You can't turn on or off frame blending. You can't adjust the pixel grid if you want anything like that. I can show it off a little bit later when we're done here. But there's also a Cloud Game Store one. Again, they're down on AliExpress right now too, unless that's changed in the past couple days. Yeah, they have a touchpad, and it's kind of the same thing but worse. I think Funny Playing might also, but yeah, I recommend the high-speed Edo one the most. So. All right. Hold on a second. Thank you, Ren Lacerda. Hopefully I said that right. You can chat in 5 minutes. I wanted to trim down my my fiberglass pen because it was really dirty. So trimmed it down, so we can clean up these things. I'm going to actually put some flux down on all these real quick. And then we're gonna open all these up. Whew. Yes, I do have a fume extractor. No, I'm not going to use it right now because it's a tiny little guy. Okay, I will use it. Because it's a tiny little guy that it can be a little annoying when your mat is really full and it just doesn't even get close enough. Like, it's not really capturing the fumes right now. But it helps a little bit. Typically when I'm doing batches of mods like this off camera, I get out my air purifier and I just lay it down right there. None of these look corroded. They're all dirty, but they're not corroded. That's good. Or scroll up a little bit. I haven't modded mine yet, but I'm going for a new shelf for limited IPS kit from Funny Playing. Hopefully yours doesn't hopefully yours isn't messed up like mine always are. I don't like touchpads either. Mostly because of Funny Playing. Yeah, button controls are always better. I have the issues with the Funny Playing Max IPS, or have the issues with the Funny Playing IPS Max screens been fixed? I do not know. I've seen some people not having issues with the solder button controls. I don't know. If they have any social media accounts, I don't follow them. I don't think they really like me and don't want to help me with any of that stuff. I don't know. I haven't really tried reaching out to them. I just kind of assume because I am not very nice in my reviews with them, even though I always go in hopeful. But history tells me they don't care and don't want to fix it. So if you get a working one, you probably just won the lottery. How necessary is the fiberglass pen for cleaning power switches? Can you do a decent job with IP and toothbrush? Yes, you can. But it's really easy to use a fiberglass pen. It is very helpful. But you can use a toothbrush or a Q-tip and you can go to town on this part. But I really only recommend cleaning this part with a fiberglass pen because you need something that's abrasive but very soft. And that is this. Because if you use like a Q-tip, it's going to get caught in the fibers and probably rip out, and then your power switch is just broken. So if you don't have a fiberglass pen, I just would ignore these parts. But go to town with your Q-tip. Be careful not to break the plastic, but use a Q-tip, use a toothbrush, and get it as best you can. But yeah, it's also going to just clean the best with a fiberglass pen. But it's not necessary. But at the same time, they're also like, I think I get a pack of like 3 for $6 on Amazon, something like that. Might be more fiberglass pens than 3 for that much. I don't remember. And for people like me, it is very helpful because I was gonna say it cleans very fast as well. I can breeze through 6 power switches like that. And my soldering iron went off. Somebody asked what iron I use. I use the TS101 from Miniware. It's fine for a compact soldering iron. It's great, but I do wish that I had a nicer soldering iron. Like, it's expensive and it is nice. It's just the only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that the cables wear out right about here, and so I replace the cables more often than I'd like. This is like my 3rd or 4th cable for this, and I just don't. I don't like it because no matter what, you're pretty much gonna have that at a bent angle, and unless you mount your power to the ceiling, it's not gonna be a good time. And I don't really know how to fix that. I don't know if there's like maybe there's a 3D print out there that I could do to like give it more strain relief than it's got. Maybe that's an idea. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm gonna put the iron down. Fiberglass pens are also just better at cleaning than a Q-tip or a toothbrush. It's better at cleaning this kind of dirt. The carbon deposits that are left behind by the electricity that flows through this. Same thing, the same carbon deposits that you see on the button contacts and all that. Cartridge pins. Anything that has electricity flowing through it. My fan is dead. How dead? I'm not quite sure. Well, the charge light comes on, so that's a good sign. But I cannot use it and charge it at the same time. Oh, that's why it's not going in. It's because the, there we go. The power switch was not in all the way. Let's see, how deep? We're 51 minutes into the stream. I also love that the smoke coming off my iron just makes its way into my nose. Goes straight there. Even if I'm not breathing, it just goes in there like I'm exhausting it into my nose. I guess inhaling it. Like my nose is an exhaust fan is what I meant to say. Okay. Also, I don't think I've ever seen a Game Boy Advance with a gray ribbon cable thing like that. Kind of cool. Which one of these is the corroded boy? Very last one, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Don't know why when I got up one of those 8,000 times did I not get my bag of headphone jacks. But I didn't, so it's alright. Maybe I should wait for this to charge a little bit more. You know what? I will. So, because we're gonna get a lot of smoke off of this, I'll do that later. Let's unbag all of these bags. Hello, I've been researching GBA mods for the last few days and love your content. Thank you. What did you find out? What is your consensus? Fiberglass pens are all the same from what I know. Jewelers also use them, so they can be called jeweler's pens too. I mean, I kind of figured, but I did not know Never really heard of a jeweler's pen before. Hi there, just dropped by to say I'm having lots of fun with the modded GameCube I bought. Nice. Did you buy it from me? I would assume so based off of the message, and I appreciate it if you did. Plus I can now test the project I'm working on the real hardware, which is really neat. Cool. I'm glad that that's the consensus. I feel like I'm not using the word consensus right there, but conclusion? Maybe that's what I was looking for? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Do you think $80 for a GBA off Facebook Marketplace is a good deal? If it's in good condition and everything works, then honestly, yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad deal. I think 60 or 70 would be better, it would be best. But I don't know. Because, like, I buy a lot of my Game Boy Advances now, like these ones with potential problems with them that are disgusting, with bad screens and all that. I get those for like 45 on a good deal now. 50 to 55 is usually the going rate for broken in bulk. 55 each. So yeah, I would say for a working one, 70, 80 ain't bad. 60 would be better, obviously, but if I'm buying them for 50 to 55 broken in bulk, this is the fun part about doing things in bulk, is being able, or getting to separate all of these things. all these screws and bags and buttons and so much fun.
All right.
Welcome, Ian. It'd be really nice if they put the screws in a separate bag. As much as I've complained about having a million different bags for everything, if you're gonna have a bunch of bags, at least separate them in a good way. I can't even close this bag all the way. Okay. I don't need the orange buttons today. Yeah, if you plan on swapping the shell and the shell's rough, again, as long as they can confirm that it turns on and the buttons all work, then you're pretty much in the clear. Isn't this a fun stream to watch? Watching me tear apart bags and separating pieces. Does the battery kit from High Speed Edo let you charge while playing? I don't know because I've never tried it. But yeah, I mean, I like having rechargeable double A's. The only time it really isn't the best to have rechargeable double A's is when you're like traveling. But most of the time, I don't play my Game Boy enough while traveling that I need to even swap out to a second pair of batteries. So, because usually I'm traveling for fun. I really only play Game Boy games when I'm actively playing a game. Like, I don't know. I don't, unless like it's Tetris. Uh, I'm really only playing Game Boy when I'm like, oh, I want to play this game all the way through. And right now, I'm not doing that with any Game Boy Advance games. I kind of want to get back into playing Infinity on the Game Boy Color. Partially because I'm kind of reviewing another Game Boy Color-esque device. But Pocopia's got a death grip on me. A chokehold, if you will. I think that is all of the plastic baggies. We still have peels, way too many peels to get torn apart there, but yeah, let's attempt this. I think the fan is charged up enough now. Initially, the funny playing one didn't, so that's why I'm always hesitant to say that the funny playing one does, because I honestly don't even know anymore. Maybe it was supposed to all along, and I just had another bad unit for funny playing. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna grab a headphone jack. I'll be right back. Now, these headphone jacks aren't going to look amazing, but they have been cleaned up. See, it looks a little dark when you can't even tell how dark it is. But yeah, these have been cleaned up. Need to get some more Goot Wick out. Because the one right here is pretty much gone. Okay. Let's start with cleaning up the solder that's on here. Because there's some leftover solder from when I ripped this out before. I think I got it good enough. Now we can load this up with flux. Zoom in for this, but no promises you can actually see it. Get out my bigger tweezers here. I like to stick. Yeah, see, this is the problem. My fan is getting in the way. I like to stick my big old tweezers in there, and then just push down with it. Heat up all of the pins. Get that solder flowing, and all that black crap that's coming off with the flux is corrosion burning off. Yep, that's nice. Okay. Now, clean off the iron, and we can get out our new goot wick. Remove this old solder here. I'll turn that off for a moment, and we can clean off all this old corrosion. It's flux. I'll use my flux remover. A lot better now, and you can see it's pretty blackened on that side too. Okay. Then the new one, right? Yeah. This is the old one. And we can just slot this back in here. Oh, I was like, what is that popping noise? It's this clip popping out. But we should... There we go. Get it all nice and flat there. And put some more flux down. And once this heats up, we can put new solder down and we should be good to go. I discovered they called them jeweler's pens when I looked for one on eBay and Googled it. They've been around for a long time for metal polishing, only reason I found out. Interesting. This headphone jack that we pulled out will eventually be saved. I will put it in some, what's it called? Vinegar. And yes, you can literally use the vinegar that is potentially in your kitchen. Assuming you have vinegar in your kitchen. They do have cleaning vinegar. But you do not need cleaning vinegar. I have used the basic stuff that I got from Safeway. And it works wonders. should be good to go. That is now trash. This is not. And we can zoom it back in. And I will actually, oh, we got all this soldering stuff out. I'm gonna line up all of these guys here. Then we can just do all the soldering real quick. Not all of it, but put the wires down onto this side here. Still heating up, okay. All right. That was just an old GBA shell from one that we took apart earlier. I'm just adding some solder to TP2 on all of these. Okay, now we can add wires to all of these. And the way I like to do it is I like to have the wire for right stick out to the left, the wire for left stick out to the right, and select doesn't really matter, but I have it out to the right. So that's why I'm skipping around. And if I have a wire that's actually pointing to the right or pointing to the left, then I'll solder it down to an available R. This one's just wonky enough that I'm willing to put it on an R. So pretty much all of these point to the right in this position. And now there's a giant mess. Do I have extra wires? I have one extra wire. Unless I'm blind. Nope, I got one extra wire. Sick. Okay. Let me put the iron down for now. We're not completely done, but... What are y'all's thoughts on the de-hum kits, and are they usually sold in modded consoles such as the ones you're preparing right now? People do sell them pre-installed. I think it's snake oil. But to be fair, most of my reasoning comes from people that I feel are smarter than me in at least this area, like Natalie, who is very against them. If you have a Game Boy that has a hum to it, which I rarely see, like I mod a bunch of Game Boys and most of them don't hum. Maybe this is something that was more common with older IPS kits, but I don't hear any humming unless you have an amp on it, which if you're putting an amp on it and then it has a humming sound, it's probably the amp, dude. But anyways, there's probably just an underlying capacitor problem somewhere else, or just some sort of problem that is fixed with just like basic repairs on your console, not fixed by adding more capacitors to it. That's what I think about de-hum kits. I have used them, and I have a video coming up where I'm probably going to use them, but even in that video, I'm going to say this is probably a bunch of crap. Sometimes I do just want to snip off these touchpads because they're annoying to install, but I know that there's eventually going to be one person out there that there's going to buy one from me and they're going to be upset that I didn't install it. So I installed them. But even though I used to say you can't just snip them off, you now can, because in the settings you can turn them off. But before, you couldn't. So if you snip them off, they are still live. Because even though it's gonna react to when you touch by the actual copper tape, it will also react if you touch the wire. And if you have a wire that's touching this metal shielding and it gets bounced around in this very tight spot down there, then it's going to go off by just touching the metal shielding. But if you can turn it off in software, like they've added, thankfully, then it's not a problem. But for the one potential customer out there that I might have that wants the touchpads over button controls, even though button controls will still be installed, I installed them. But I always turn them off in the software. It's one of the first things I do. many hours in are we? Hour and a half? Going faster than I thought. Not by much, though. I also really don't like that the peels on these touchpads stick to you. They like statically stick to my fingers, and it's really annoying. This is also the tedious part where I get annoyed and frustrated, and I'm like, I just want to move on to the next part. Aha, I am missing one. I forgot to solder one of the wires here. They did not give me an extra wire. I just need to solder to L. Now I'm like oddly getting warm. Is it warm out today? Mother and father, is it warm today? Otherwise, I don't know why I'm getting warm in here. Getting warm. I was kind of looking for a degree of temperature, but that's all right. No? Okay, I thought my computer showed the temperature on the bottom, but I guess it doesn't. Maybe I turned that off. $75? Yeah, I would say that's warm. That's probably why I'm getting warm in here. Oh, good lord. Okay. Okay. Get up and stretch for a second. To be honest, I simply wanted to collect some opinions. I've been experimenting with some different dehum kits and with varying levels of success. Some are better than others for sure, but I agree that a band-aid fix for some other issue with the design and layout of the board aims to make the already inherent noise to the GBA more noticeable for sure. Yeah, I agree. Okay. I need to sneeze. It's coming. Maybe. Yep. And I said yeah, and it's like it's just hovering there. That feeling of needing to sneeze. Maybe I'm perpetuating it by talking. And now it's kind of gone away. It's like, kind of just like a little bit of a tingle there. Okay. I'm going to start putting some buttons in here. You know what? Now that we're past the dirty stages, I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick. I'll be right back.
Four computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Okay. Make sure I'm not missing any important notifications. I changed into some shorts, got a new drink, and washed my hands, took off my hat. I feel slightly more refreshed, but can definitely feel the back getting tired. So hopefully we can speed this up a little bit. I'm just gonna start grabbing consoles, plucking them down, and we are going to do soldering, but like the rest of the soldering right now. Trying to put in the buttons for the next console while this is heating up. Also, there's still the mark on my finger, but I promise I did wash my hands. Okay. Select. I'm just gonna use my fingers, and there goes. Right after we just heated it up, soldering iron went out. Get a little bit more solder on the tip there. Okay. That did not work out well. I'm also gonna put in at least one screw. To get these secured. And we'll do two. I might just use the automatic screw driver. Might as well do the third one if we're here, right? What part of the shell did you stick the touchpads to the inside of the front face? Or inside of the front face or inside of the lip of the front face? I will show you in a second. Show you on the next one. I'm not like super accurate with it. I'm not always like trying to do the best job ever with the alignment of everything. I just made a fatal error. I forgot to put the I remembered the light pipe, but I forgot the ribbon cable. Pin side down for the screen part. Pin side up over here. All right. Can't believe I messed up on that. I use the lip if I use the touch pads, though. If you can remove them, that would be better. That over there for a second. This is where I put them. I like to put this one at the top. I don't know why. And then I like to put this one down here, like on the front, the face of it. I don't think it really matters. They suck no matter where you put them. So there's that. We do need to solder that one extra wire. We can put that down, and then we gonna grab this board, and it's a 40 pin. So we can put that in there, close that down, and then solder. Select. It wasn't the best job, but works. And we also need to solder. L down there. Okay. And these are facing the incorrect ways. So gotta remember that. Yeah. Okay. Come on, stupid speaker, line up. Thank you. I need to plug this end in first. Oh man, it's also just really annoying me that all of these are just sitting there. I also like to bring this up, have a little more, there we go, arm space. Looks like you guys are just chatting amongst yourselves, but I'm interested in what Hot Cows has to say, mainly because of the name. I like to do speaker upgrades, replacing the old one with a new funny playing one, but other than that, I leave the amps, etc. alone due to amps making them sound bad. I think that's fair. Doing new speakers is fine. I think funny playing speakers are the best from what I've tried. But yeah. I've had hum issues when modding GBCs with both an audio amp and LED buttons. The two of them mixing are the issue. Also, none of the dehum kits can fix it. Probably cheap audio amp kits though. Yeah. Hey Jake, I watched your videos beginning of this year, and it's what got me into mod GBC and GBA. Awesome. Thank you for watching. I'm glad I could inspire you. I can't decide if I want the orange or red clear shell. Both good options. I made the mistake of taking the cartridge reader off of one of these boards. I think the spares would be readily available. Only found them in one place overseas, UK based, an expensive DOH. Is that just duh, or is that stand for something? I apologize. My brain is slow right now. That's what happens when we get near the 2-hour mark on the stream. My brain starts to turn to mush. Jake, I'm curious if you had a micro wire stripper recommendation. I ended up getting a pair on iFixit's website, but curious if you have a better option. I don't know if it's better, but this is what I have. Pros Kit CP 30 or 301G. I don't know. It's what I used. It's done me good. Apparently you need to wear safety goggles when stripping wires. Never thought to need to wear that. I've never even read that before. But they go down 20 to 30 gauge wire. If there's anything smaller, I just use this part and it's annoying, but I usually hover around the 30 gauge to the 26 gauge. I had a different wire stripper a long time ago. I don't think I have it anymore, and it didn't go down to 30 gauge, so I think I just searched 30 gauge wire strippers on Amazon and found that. Maybe it was on AliExpress. I don't know. I've had it for a while. It might be linked in my tools that I use section on my website, which should be linked in this description. But yeah, I haven't updated those links in a long time, and I keep kicking that can down the road. So there's quite a few broken links on those lists. And most of it is due to Funny Playing, or not Funny Playing, High Speed Duo, and their store being down. I need to put this down for a second, because we need to put the buttons in. B. D-pad. Hey, that looks like it needs to be flattened out there. Cool. And we got a 32 pin. So we can stick this in. No matter if you're doing a 32 pin or 40 pin, it's always the smaller end that goes in there. I believe this is only 30 pins. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Okay. And this is our fixed one. So I remember when I go to test all of these, I need to test the headphone jack on the Indigo one. That didn't really give me a satisfying click. I think one of the most annoying things about high-speed Edo kits, at least with the Game Boy Advance, is that the screws are just not easy to screw in. I think the screws are a little bit thicker than the posts. Ends up being fine and all the same in the end, but okay, I need to do something about this. This is like really annoying me. I'm going to take this start sticking them all to here. They just stick to the freaking mat statically. Now I can have a little bit more peace. Okay, is this one ready to go? Yeah. I'm gonna get wild here and do these three at the same time. Nope. That. A, D-pad, B, D-pad, and B. Feel like my hands are starting to get like shaky. Maybe it's because my back is getting tired and I'm getting tired and I'm kind of ready to be done streaming. I don't care about being done streaming. I'm ready to be done with the modding. I don't prefer having all day mod streams. Or all day modding days. But it is going to be nice to get 6 of these out of the way at once. I just feel like I could use a break, but if I take a break, then I end stream, and then I'm not going to bring the stream back to finish these. So. We're so close. We're in the home stretch here. 40. These all 40. Of course, this is a 32. Okay. 40, 40, 32. Why don't I just plug them in? Funny playing is not that fast for me, and I live closer to China than the Midwest. I like chats. It's very nice to have chats because I at least have something to bounce off of. Yes, these are going to be up for sale on the website as soon as I am done with this. That is why I'm doing so many at once right now. I feel like this is the most I've ever done on a stream before. At once. Done with the soldering. Thank Lord. Okay. Now, as long as all of the wires just cooperate with me, I'm gonna have a good rest of the stream. And I'm not done soldering because that wire just came out. Awesome! Definitely not getting frustrated with these wires not cooperating. Just go where I tell you to and stay where I tell you to. That's all I ask of my wires. I think I'm fine to go ahead and screw this one down. Hello. Homer type explanation. No. Never really watched The Simpsons. For some reason, I watched The Simpsons movie growing up, and I really enjoyed that, but I never really watched the show. Watched Family Guy and the Cleveland Show for a bit. Oh yeah, gotta let it heat up, I guess. I promise eventually I will show off the new product. But I also will be recording a video about it for the second channel after this. It'll be featured on the main channel plenty of times in the future. Oh my gosh, and now I'm gonna need freaking flux because being stupid. There we go. Okay. Ow. Barring anything else being stupid, we are done soldering. Again. And I think go ahead and put the rest of the buttons in. Put the back halves of the shells on. Be done. So close. Thank you all to all of the people who have stuck around. I do not blame you if you've left. Because there really hasn't been anything exciting happening during this stream. And I purposely chose 6 boards that didn't need, well, I thought didn't need any work to them. How old am I? I am 27 years old. And yes, years old, not years young. I never want to be one of those people. But I also do feel old because I was at a mall recently, and that made me feel incredibly old. I don't feel old when people are like, "What's a VHS?" or something like that. Especially because I'm oddly into so many things that are before my time. I guess not that odd. They're good. It's good stuff. Like music, movies, TV. Mostly media things from like the 70s and 80s and 90s and whatever. But I felt very old walking through the mall. I also feel old sometimes walking around my apartment area because there's a lot of children who live here, and I'm like, yep, I'm old. Looking at their parents, and I'm like, you're not that much older than me, and you have children in middle school. It's weird. Okay, maybe not middle school, but elementary school. Some of them are in middle school, but their parents aren't near my age. I'm 59 if it helps. Let me be clear. I guess it's not necessarily a bad feeling old. Other than when it's like pain that makes me feel old. Because all of the old people around me, when I say that I feel old, they'll be like, huh, you don't feel old. But I felt out of place in the mall because I felt significantly older than the average person there. I gotta ask, what's with hot cows? Why hot cows? Please tell me it's something normal. Okay. We got a bunch of Phillips head screws that I think I'm actually gonna do last. I'm gonna drop a bunch of stupid tri-wing. Just go in the hole. Can you go in? Thank you. Just gonna put all these in here so I can hopefully zoom through it. Oh my gosh, the world is against me. Gonna have a mental breakdown because I can't get screws in their holes. I just put them all over the place now. At least you finally figured out the world's against you. The way you say that makes me feel like I am the Truman Show. I turned on the AC when I went out and took my little break, but I'm getting progressively warmer, and I don't know why the AC's not kicking on. I have the wrong bit in there. Maybe I just do the Phillips heads real quick, since I'm too lazy to swap the bit. Right now you get really long ad breaks though. I guess this is the Truman Show, yeah. But I am aware that I'm broadcasting myself to the world. Okay, I'm gonna put the mic off to the side for you guys' ears. Okay, swapping bits. Got an extra Phillips and an extra tri-wing of all of that. Just kidding. Technically, I'm missing a screw. I don't know how I missed that. Unless he just popped off. Missing a tri-wing. Okay. Yes, BioAnt, it is true. The website you are looking for is highspeededo.com or highspeededostore.com. My apologies. highspeededostore.com. So, I thought we had an extra screw. Turns out we were missing a screw. That's cool. Yeah, I don't see... I do not see one anywhere. So I'm going to steal one from... I'd like to steal one from an original kit, but it's going to be a little shiny. It's going to be gold. So, actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to put an original screw in there. That way it's shadowed and it doesn't look as obvious that it's an old screw. Even though you could argue that the new screws are worse than the original screws. But I just didn't want it to look off, and now it doesn't. So, cool. We can go through each and every one of these Game Boys and see if they're working. Starting with this one. Oh wait, do you ever break screw posts with that screwdriver? Oddly enough, I broke more screw posts with just my regular iFixit bit and my pure raw man strength than I have. I can't even say that without laughing. Than I have with this thing, and this is a pretty strong one. But it also has 3 settings. If I had it anywhere above the second setting, then it would probably break screw posts a lot. But I'm also very careful about it because I've broken so many in the past with my pure man strength. So yeah. But how you doing, Micah? I am ready to test these things, and that means I'm ready to show off finally the product that I've been teasing since the beginning of the stream with the poll. Let me reach for it over here. Funny, I actually put it upside down inside of the case. Hold up. People have been asking for a long time. Let me go full screen for this. People have been asking me for a long time what my test cartridge is and where can I get it and all that stuff. And to be fair, Natalie the Nerd makes a great test cartridge. I don't know if she still does that, and I don't know how custom it is anymore. I don't know. I haven't really checked in with her on that. But as good as that test cartridge is, and as good as the other ones out there are some things that I wish I had with a test cartridge. And so I set out and I made a very basic button test cartridge. And that is quite literally what it is. It is stuck inside this case. A very basic button test cartridge. I will be selling these. I have not officially decided on a price yet. It will be as cheap as I can get it within reasonable profit margins, because I would like to make money off of this. But I will be selling cartridges with the ROM on it, but I will also be giving away the ROM for free if you just want to put it on your own flash card. But if you just want a cartridge, and I'll explain why you would want it on its own cartridge in a bit, I will be selling it coming this Friday. I will be making a second channel video all about this. I'll be recording it right after the stream, and then I will post that video on Friday, and it will be available on Friday at retroremaster.com. But this is a very basic button test cartridge. So it is a Game Boy one, so there is no way to test LNR other than making the the screen go wonky, but turn up the sound all the way here. You turn it on, it loads up, you get the logo. This is feature number 1, which I don't even know if you can really call it a feature, but this is something that I have wanted from all of my button test ROMs. Most of the time, I just want to test the buttons. And not every time does A or start work. And if A or start doesn't work, in most button test cartridges, you cannot test the cartridge. You cannot test the buttons because you need to get into the tests via A or start. Sometimes you even need the D-pad to scroll through a menu. So you can press any button. Once you load in, you can press left on the D-pad and boom, you're into this. I could have put it straight to this screen here, but I'm gonna give myself a little bit of credit because I don't even have a menu in this thing. It is a very basic button test cartridge. Are you getting the theme yet? But the other feature I wanted to this is a lot of the time I get consoles in that, well, this screen isn't too bad, but do any of these screens have, sorry for the loud noises, some of the screens that I get in are toast, or they're burnt to a crisp and they're hard to see. So even though I have, let me turn this down, even though I have all of the buttons on screen, and when you press A lights up and B lights up, and I can press left and A and they're both lighting up and all of this stuff, sometimes I can't see the screen. So I added tones that are different. They're different tones for each button pressed. So I can tell without even looking at the screen when I'm pressing left and it's working down, up, right, select, start, B, and A. And I don't know how well you could hear that, but I also made it varying levels of tones. So you get the full do, re, mi scale if you go in that button order from left, down, up, right, select, start, B, A. And I can also test the volume wheel by pressing down one of the buttons and adjusting the volume, and I can see, or I can hear, that it is smoothly adjusting the volume. And that tests pretty much everything I need to do. Most of the time, I'm going to be using my very basic button test cartridge when I am testing it before I mod it. After I mod it, this is still when other test ROMs like JROS, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but like the the original Nintendo official test cartridges that Joshua gave me, that power switch is a little stuck there. But like things like this, where you have a bunch of different tests. You can test the screen and the sound and scrolling and all this stuff. You can test the RAM. Like the first thing is RAM test pass. Great. I don't care about that stuff in the beginning. This is more of an end thing when I'm getting ready to ship these out after they've sold, or now when I'm testing it post mod. But if all you care about is just testing the buttons, maybe testing the sound, this is perfect for you. And I'm trying to make them as cheap as possible because the reason why you might not want to just put it on a flash cart is because like I've worn out my flash carts, because initially I just got the ROMs from Natalie and then I put them on my flash cart. But if you're someone like me who goes through and tests like hundreds of Game Boys every month, probably a lot of the times it's testing the same Game Boys multiple times to get to that 100 a month number. But still, every time you take this in and out of cartridge or a cartridge slot, it's wearing down these pins. So even though these are hopefully going to last you a while, if you're going through and modding a bunch of Game Boys every month like I am, then you're gonna eventually need another one of these. So I'm trying to get the price down because it is a very basic button test cartridge, but I also want it to be affordable enough that you can eventually get multiple when these get worn out, and so you're not wearing out your flash cartridges. But if you just want to test it, if you're doing like one Game Boy of every model for yourself, and you're not doing a bunch of them, then yeah, you can just download the ROM from my website. It'll probably be on the listing. I haven't figured out where I'm going to post it yet. But if you just want the ROM to put it on your flash cart, and you're not going to wear out your flash cart by using it a bunch, then go for it. I'm not going to gatekeep this because it's a very basic button test cartridge. Other colors or only yellow? Only yellow. Why yellow? Because my other game, my actual game, Mashed, is a yellow cartridge. And I still have a bunch of those because Mashed, unfortunately, is not sold as well as I would have hoped. So I'm just using what I got. And I really don't care about the color because it's a tool, and most of the time it's going to be sitting in a drawer. So, yeah. And plus, yellow is kind of nice. Other than a few games out there that are also yellow, it's obvious to me that the yellow cartridge in my work area is going to be the test cartridge. So it'll be easier to spot and grab. So I guess that's a added bonus. But if I was really thinking about that, then I probably would have made it like a purple cartridge or something that isn't any official Game Boy cartridge color. But yeah. This is the new project, and it'll be available on Friday, retroremaster.com. I am working on a couple more projects that will be products the following Friday, hopefully, that will coincide with a main channel video. So yeah, and Joshua, that is what you know about. I did not know if I told you about this before. But yeah, this one checks out. So I can go ahead and put this there, and we can get this. We'll do all the stickers at the end. We'll just fly through these now that we've got our button test ROM out. See, and now I can tell that I can hear it, but the sound is quite... Oh, okay, never mind. Sometimes with these volume wheels, if you have it literally all the way up, it gets real quiet at the end. And that just means it needs a little more clean. A little bit better of a clean. Because other than having it all the way to the right, it works. DK Land 2 is my current test game, which is also yellow. Yeah. If I would have thought about it a little bit more, honestly, I probably still would have used the yellow cartridge because it's just what I have on hand. So, yeah. But it's a little bit paler than like an official cartridge since it's an aftermarket one. So, yeah. But you could also put your Donkey Kong Land 2 game away. You can retire it to be only for playing and not testing now. Gotta turn up the volume. Cool. And honestly, it's not going to hurt my feelings if this test cartridge doesn't sell well, because again, there are better test games out there. This is mostly for me, but if you want to buy it, I'm happy to sell it to you. I don't know if I tested LNR on the red one, but I tested all of these buttons before stream, so I'm not worried about LNR not working on the red one. Plus, I will test these again before I ship them out. So. Oh wait, I didn't test LNR. There we go, we're good. And this was made with GB Studio. Otherwise, I would also have I would also have a Game Boy Advance version of this, because I do think it is nicer to test LNR separately from just using an original Game Boy game. But this will also work with Game Boy and Game Boy Pocket. It'll work with everything but a Game Boy Micro or unfortunately a Macro. But yeah. That is that. They all are working swimmingly. So now's the time that I will finally list them all. So if you want any of these or the other ones that I have listed, or maybe you're looking for a different model entirely, retroremaster.com should be the top link in the description. And also, if any of my moderators want to add a link to the chat, that'd be great. I'm gonna lean back so I don't accidentally expose any information that I shouldn't be exposing. Collections, Game Boy Advance. Indigo's up first, active, and one available. Indigo is up for grabs. retroremaster.com. Red is right underneath that. Red is now up for grabs. Come on. Black is up next, and all black up for grabs. All white is now, wait for it, up for grabs. And what was next? Black, white, red, indigo. We need the spice orange. Well, mint popped up first, making sure those are white buttons and not gray. And mint is up for grabs. And whenever spice orange pops up, where's spice orange? Did I skip it? I must have gone past it. I had to have gone past it. I went right past it. Okay. Spice orange. Doesn't say V5 in there. V5. Spice Orange is up for grabs. All 6 of them should be up for sale. Let me double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. RetroRemaster.com. Thank you, Joshua. And take a drink. I agree. You do want to try and preserve your flash carts for as long as possible, because those are much more expensive than even in a single game. Well, it depends on the game. Okay. Let's put these stickers on, and then we will be done. Finally. 2.5 hours later. It is almost 3 o'clock. Man. Okay, that accidentally came off of the peel, but that was perfect. Gotta be very careful lining these up, because the tolerances are very tight, not very forgiving.
And the shuttle has cleared the tower.
That's why I'm blocking your view with my head.
Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Getting into soldering officially, nice. Is it as scary as you thought it would be? So a lot of people are like, no, it's too scary, it's too dangerous, I'm gonna burn myself, which is valid. I was once like that. And I've definitely burned myself before. But it's really not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Loving the green one. It's very clean. There we go. Kind of just worked out. Cool colors, warm colors, black and white. Did not plan that. But, yeah. All 6 of these are available now. RetroRemaster.com. Friday, the very basic button test cartridge will be available alongside of the ROM. And the ROM will be free. I am not sure how much the cartridge will cost. It's going to be anywhere from $15 to $10, thinking closer to 10. I know hoping I could literally make it 10, but I don't know. I don't know. I just need to think about it a little bit more, do a little more research. Yeah. And then I will have a couple more products available the following week. Following Friday. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that for now. If you want to know more about the future products, join the Mod Squad. Hit that join button down below, because those future products will be talked about on this next main channel video, which will hopefully be ready for members this Friday. So, yeah. Buy a shirt as well. RetroRemaster.com if you too were made in the 90s, or you know somebody who was. and they like the 90s. I don't know. I'm losing it. You recommend an IPS screen for the Game Boy Color? I recommend the Funny Playing IPS, the Q5 IPS. The high-speed video one's fine too. The Funny Playing one is just easier, but I typically actually prefer the OLED. So people are worried about OLED burn-in. Go watch my OLED burn-in Game Boy Color video. I tested it. It's really not that scary. But yeah, the OLED just looks so nice in my opinion. So. But I have a whole video breakdown for the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance SP, and the Game Boy Color, talking about pretty much every IPS kit that's out there, breaking down what's good about each kit, what's bad about each kit, and you get to decide which one's best for you, because some of them are better for certain people than others, because it depends on your taste. So, yeah. What's my favorite Game Boy Advance color combo? That's tough. I really like the monochromatic ones, but recently, we'll go back down to the top down. Like the monochromatic ones, I think look very clean. I even like the red monochromatics, like the actual colorful monochromatic ones. But the original color schemes, like just the basic indigo, spice orange, midnight blue, those have been selling well. And typically my favorites are the ones that sell well. But I like spice orange, and I like the wacky color combos that I've done. There's been like a yellow blue combo that I've liked. I'd have to think about that. I have to look through my archive of pictures, but there's been some that I'm like, dang, I want to keep this for myself. But yeah, I think that is about it for this one. It is 3:03, like the band. So I think I'm gonna take my leave here. Thank you guys for watching. 23 of you stuck around to the end. Well, actually, I don't know how many of you stuck around for the entire stream, but 23 of you are here now. Thank you for that. Tomorrow, I don't know what tomorrow's video is. Oh, maybe that's the PSP video. Have I done that yet? What's tomorrow's second channel video? Tomorrow on the second channel, I will be installing an IPS screen in my PSP 3000. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. I thought I posted that already. That's tomorrow's video. And then Friday's video on the second channel is all about my very basic button test cartridge. I'm gonna say it so many times that people know immediately that there's not a lot to it. There could be more to it. That's not the point. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. I'm gonna go try not to play Pocopia for the rest of the day. I'm gonna try and get more work done. But that's